Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have another interesting episode for you guys. You don't want to miss out on this one. So recently, I was surfing the web, and by the web I mean YouTube, and I stumbled upon a video because y'all watch videos. If you watch one old video, recommend an old video, y'all know the story. And I stumbled upon an old video from ESPN, and during this video, it was a segment with Scottie Pippen and Tracy McGrady. And during this segment, they were arguing about who was the better shooter between Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. That was basically the basis of that argument. And it gave me inspiration. And I started thinking a little bit deeper this morning about this debate. And I was like, okay, maybe we need to make a video on this. But for those of you out there who probably missed that video because it was published 4 years ago, who missed this audio, this video, what I'm talking about, what we want to do is we want to play the exchange that Scottie Pippen and Tracy McGrady had. You get to listen to a little bit of their arguments, and then we're going to systematically break this thing down and get into the advanced numbers. So before we go too far, take a listen to that now, and then come back and then listen to what we have to say here. Check it out.
All right, time to debut a new segment on the job called Hot Mics. Take a listen to Scottie. This was during our commercial break yesterday. I don't know if you knew they were recording this, but of course they were.
I say this, and I may be wrong. There's no way MJ could outshoot Kobe.
Outshoot him?
I'll let you guys have that conversation while
No, because
do a little work.
Kobe shot more outside shots than Bryant. Mike was in between.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Kobe stepped out a little bit more.
Kobe thrills me like Steph Curry thrills people in today's game. Like when he was shooting.
And Mike, oh, you talking about shooting the ball?
Yeah.
No, Scotty.
You don't understand.
Pip, no, man.
That's
no.
You would like to continue for our actual audience
we
here?
gotta continue this conversation.
Go.
Elaborate.
Let me just say this.
Yes.
Neither one of us are wrong. They're both great players.
Yes, absolutely.
We're not going to be wrong.
All right, but
here,
don't back down here just because everybody's
You
watching.
said,
I said Kobe was a better outside shooter
Yes.
than Mike,
I agree with that.
especially early on in his career.
Early to early.
Let's go
Yes.
to the other statement you made about Kobe.
I said for a score, Kobe Bryant shooting reminds me of a guy like a Steph Curry when he was in the prime of his
So
career.
now you want to say for a score.
Yeah,
Right?
a
You want
score. I
to
mean,
say
Kobe
score
is
now.
not a shooter
You
per
said
se.
shooting the ball yesterday,
Yeah,
Scotty. We
shooting
got it
the
on
ball.
tape,
Get it-
man.
Replay it. Shooting the ball, Kobe shot the ball like
Like
a Steph
Steph?
Curry. Yeah. Hey,
Way.
no doubt about that. Look at this. He was a volume shooter, but hey,
Listen,
the guy could shoot the basketball.
Absolutely.
And MJ more multidimensional.
MJ was more multi-dimensional because
You meant to
he
tell
tried
me Kobe
to dunk the ball
shooting
early
the ball
on
like
in his
this
career.
kid, right?
He made
He's
highlight
the greatest
film,
shooter we ever
poster.
seen, Scotty.
I didn't say he could
He's
outshoot
right
him. now.
there, man.
I didn't say he
Yeah.
could outshoot him. I didn't say he could outshoot him. I did not say that. I said he's just a good
I'm just
shooter
glad that
as
in the
Steph
clip,
Curry.
everyone
And
could
I
see
would,
how much
I would
work I
say
do
that
on.
Just
Kobe
as
would
good-
take that challenge.
Are we doing the hoodies
Nobody
first,
has
Mr.
them.
Danny?
I mean,
Steve?
what-
Because that's who Kobe is.
But I'm just saying the guy can shoot the ball.
But you
That's
put him
who
in the
he
same
is.
as
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Just look at
33%.
Hey, I got up and looked at these numbers. Look at
30.
it.
Please, do we have Steph?
I
Put the
know
graphics
that-
up,
that-
please. Put the graphics. The man played.
Okay,
I didn't say
But
threes.
look,
What are we
look.
shooting?
I will take the point. Look at the attempts, right?
Yeah, it's-
He had three
it's
times as many
obvious
as
who
attempts.
felt like they could shoot
So
the
who
ball.
could-
That's
right.
what I was saying. Mike didn't shoot that many threes. Mike was playing in
Well, that was
he's
part
at
of Scottie's
mid-range
point.
That was
game.
my
Step in
point.
on Scottie here.
That was my
Now, a lot was said during that clip. It was very short, but a lot of things were said. And I decided that, listen, I want to get into this and really get into the advanced numbers. And some of you guys who've been following this channel, this is something that I really, really, really enjoy. So I have a lot of information for you guys in this video. So you want to sit back and just get your popcorn because you're really going to enjoy this here. So before getting into this video, I decided that I wanted to look at 2 data points for this argument. I decided that I was going to focus on field goals attempted, right, as a criterion. And I also decided I want to focus on field goals and shooting by field goal attempts and field goal percentages from distance. So overall field goals attempted, and then the shooting percentages from various distances on the floor, because we're talking about shooting here. Now, before we continue, I think it's worth saying that Kobe Bryant played 5 more seasons than Michael Jordan did in the NBA. Jordan played for 15 years in the NBA, and Kobe Bryant played for 20 years in the NBA. However, there's some minor nuances that I want to just quickly get out of the way before we go further. First thing, although Kobe played 5 more years than Jordan, he only ended up playing 243 games over that 5-year stretch. So essentially, Kobe Bryant played 243 games out of a possible 410 games. Why? Because he was injured during that stretch. So essentially, Michael Jordan played in 15 seasons 1,072 games, and Kobe Bryant in 20 seasons played 1,198 games in 20 seasons. So Kobe essentially played, although he played 5 more years, he actually played 126 more games than Michael Jordan, which is roughly a season and a half, right? So as far as the sample size of the data that we're using, they're really quite close, right? So that's the first thing I wanted to get out of the way for context's sake. And there are going to be some people out there, this guy played, so I want to kind of get that out of the way. Now, let's look at their totals. First of all, let's look at their totals. Kobe attempted during his career, the entirety of his career, he attempted a total of 5,546 three-point shots over the entirety of his career. So that's the amount of threes Kobe took over the entirety of his career. Jordan, on the other hand, attempted really a third. He attempted 1,778 three-pointers throughout the course of his career. And they both, however, shot roughly 33% from the three-point line from that distance. So Kobe took more threes and made more threes. Mathematically, the making more threes is quite simple because he made more threes because he shot more threes. So Kobe made more threes. But there is no argument to suggest that Jordan would not have been able to shoot the same percentage, the 33%, had he not taken more three-pointers over the course of his NBA career. Because remember, Jordan, the 1997-1998 Chicago Bulls, that team was averaging 14.1 three-point attempts per game, or 14.2, or 14 three-pointers attempted per game. And now teams are averaging between 30 to 40 three-point attempts per game as a team, right? So threes were not a focal point in the NBA back then. And that's the reason why you see Jordan probably ended up taking less threes than Kobe Bryant over the course of his career. Now, if we're going to get into some more advanced analytics here, it's worth saying that some of these advanced analytics, when we're talking about shooting, we only have 4 years of data for Michael Jordan. So it's worth saying that we only have 4 years of Jordan's shooting numbers. If you go look this up on Basketball Reference, you'll be able to hunt it down for yourself and you'll be able to see that. Now, Michael Jordan attempted more twos than Kobe Bryant did, although he played 126 fewer games over the course of their careers. Jordan attempted, over the course of his NBA career, 15 seasons, he attempted more two-point shots. Jordan attempted 22,759 twos to Kobe's 20,624 twos, right? And if we look at their shooting, by distance, right? This is where we have to draw the line. Then we're going to really understand and get a better sense of who was the better shooter from further away from the basket. Kobe shot, a higher overall percentage when it came to two-point shots. Kobe shot 47.9% on twos. Jordan shot 46.9%. So basically, they're within 1 percentage point of each other. So they basically shot the same. However, Kobe shot slightly better. Now, if we're going to look at distance, right? This is going to get a little bit, we're getting a little bit in depth here. However, if we're going to look at distance, Jordan's shooting percentages from distance over for his career, right? Now, remember, I said I only have 4 years worth of information if I'm talking about this. So I'm going to give you what I got, what I was able to find. Jordan, from 0 to 3 feet, he shot 60%. From 3 to 10 feet, he shot 37.7%. From 10 to 16 feet, he shot 44%. And from 16 to the three-point line, he shot 45%. Kobe, on the other hand, from 0 to 3 feet, he shot 63%. From 3 to 10 feet, he shot 44%. From 10 to 16 feet, he shot 43%. And from 16 to the three-point line, he shot 40%. And both of these guys shot 83% from the free throw line, right? They shot basically the same. Their numbers are very, very similar. But here is where things get tricky, which goes back to my lack of the lack of information that we have. If you look at their overall field goal shooting percentages for every shot attempted all over the court for their careers. Listen to this part, because that information is available. Jordan, listen to this, he shot 49.7% from the field for his career. Kobe shot 44.7% from the field from his career. And I'm sure a lot of you guys at this point is like, okay, but wait. This is becoming confusing, because at one point it looked like Kobe was shooting better than now you're telling me Jordan shot better overall. And I think the reason this confusion is beginning to exist, or it exists, is because we have to go back to that initial number. The initial number is this. Jordan attempted 2,135 more two-point shots over the course of his career than Kobe. And I think, this is what I think. I think the reason his overall shooting percentage is higher than Kobe Bryant's by 5 percentage points or 4 percentage points, whatever you want to say, is because of those 2,000 plus two-point shots that was attempted. Because the two-point shot is easier to make and it has a higher percentage. So chances are he made a good amount of those two-pointers, which means his overall field goal percentage went up. And remember, I believe that Kobe, by the way, attempted more threes than Jordan did. Remember, Kobe attempted about 3 times as many threes. Jordan attempted about 1,700, and Kobe attempted 5,000 something, right? So I think that's the reason that exists. It's just unfortunate that we don't have that data, that on Basketball Reference, it only captures 4 years. And if you look at those percentages from distance, it's a bit misleading as well. Why is it misleading? Because they're only looking at 4 seasons of Jordan's career. Some people say, well, that's pretty good. No, it's not. Because Jordan, they're also factoring in his 2 years with the Washington Wizards, and that guy was a 40-year-old. No serious person would be told, well, you got to look at him when he was 40. No, nobody would, right? Except if you just want to be a troll. So here's what I think. My hunch is this. I think, based on all the information I got, because it's not really conclusive in some aspects it is, others it isn't. I think Kobe shot more shots between the 10 to 16 foot mark, because remember, Jordan has the overall higher field goal percentage, and Kobe has a 4 percentage points lower, 44, but whatever. I think the reason is this. The reason Jordan has a higher percentage than Kobe overall is because Jordan attempted more twos and shots closer to the basket, and Kobe attempted twos further away. And obviously, I already gave you the number that he attempted more three-pointers out there. He attempted 5,000 three-pointers. And that's the reason why Scottie Pippen says it is clear to see who felt they can shoot the ball more, because Kobe shot more from the perimeter. And I think the only reason one would shoot further away from the basket or shoot a lot from the perimeter is because you believe you're going to make those shots. If you don't believe me, let's look at the inverse. Look at Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons doesn't shoot at all because he doesn't think he'll make those shots, whether he practices or not. The guy that keeps shooting from the perimeter believes he can make those shots. So I think the data suggests that Kobe was a better perimeter shooter, which is what this whole argument is about, from distance overall. However, I don't think it's 100% conclusive, and I think there's some people out there who will be able to poke some holes into the argument. However, I tried to give you the most amount of information that I could give you based on what I was able to find. So these are my thoughts and opinions on this. And what I want to know is, number one, what do you think about Scottie Pippen's comments, the back and forth between him and Tracy McGrady? And what do you think about the information that I laid out? And ultimately, do you have any other data that you feel can swing public opinion in either way, either making it more conclusive that, listen, Kobe Bryant is the better shooter, or listen, you can say, hold up, I found some other information that suggests Jordan was the better shooter from the perimeter. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts. I'll say one last thing though, however. I think it is remarkable that although Kobe Bryant shot 5,000 threes, attempted 5,000 threes, the fact that he was able to hold a 33% field goal percentage is crazy. Because the more you shoot, the higher the likelihood you're going to miss those shots. How is that true? It is, because you're giving yourself more opportunities to miss. So for him to be able to shoot 33% overall, and he wasn't a three-point specialist like a Stephen Curry, I think that is amazing. And to the point where Scottie Pippen says Kobe and Stephen Curry dazzle you, if anybody's watched some Kobe Bryant shots, he's the toughest shot maker in NBA history. The toughest. Nobody makes tougher shots. I mean, he was making shots spinning a baseline, hitting a three-point shot over the Dallas Mavericks bench with his left hand. Like, what are we even talking about? Even Mark Cuban had to stand up and clap and say, okay, this guy, what do you say to this guy? So just wanted to throw that out there in the end. However, whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.